Namaste.
Hello, I am the European and I wish all of you a great day. Now, in my previous video, I showed you how I explored a spooky old abandoned factory. And your positive responses to that video exceeded all my expectations. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching my videos and interacting with me. I really enjoy sharing my exploring and travel adventures with you, reading your comments and having a conversation with you. Today I want to show you another of my exploring adventures. It concerns a fascinating but rather scary trip I made to Germany, to an airport that has been fully abandoned 25 years ago. Now, when I was there, the place was fully open, fully accessible, basically an extension of public space. It was at the end of a trail in a forest area, and that is very important to me because I do not wish to explore places that are obviously off limits or illegal to enter. Now, if you're interested in how I operate my urban exploring, then stick to the end of the video, because at the end of this video you will find an explanation of the ethical and practical guidelines that I follow when exploring abandoned places. To me, the most important ones are always stay safe and always stay legal. With that out of the way, it's now time to take you with me to the abandoned airport. And some of the locals say it's haunted. So join me if you dare.
So, there I was. I was in the border area between Germany and Poland, on my way to this old Soviet military airport that had been abandoned 30 years ago. Most of the locals didn't bother to enter the place, mostly because of the risks involved. Sometimes shady people were hanging around in the abandoned buildings. Some of the buildings themselves were on the verge of collapse. I could walk in without any effort. There were no fences, no security, no warning signs. The place practically was an extension of public space. Even in the open air, this was a dangerous place because there were deep holes in the ground everywhere, often hidden by tall grass and small bushes. I had to be very careful. I discovered some old airport machines. Unfortunately, I have no idea what they are for.
I have now found this abandoned airport, and it's an absolute mess.
I think it's sad that a building that was carefully designed and constructed, that once was a busy workplace, a place that had meaning to the lives of hundreds of people, can turn into such an abandoned and rotten wasteland. Yeah, it's sad. After searching for a while, I discovered the entrance to the larger buildings, probably the arrival and departure halls, and they looked spectacular and very spooky. The problem with these large rooms is that they make all kinds of noises, and it's hard to tell if you're alone in a building like this. For example, I heard this sound of some metal object. Could be caused by the wind. Could also mean that someone else is roaming around. Could be an explorer, just like me. Or perhaps security. Or maybe one of the homeless people or drug addicts who sometimes hang about in these places. But I was too fascinated with the building itself to worry about that. I tried to explore the place as quietly as possible, but every move I made created noise. I then entered an even larger hall Never before had I been alone in such a huge space. There was shattered glass and debris on the ground everywhere.
This place is an absolute mess, and it's very creepy.
During its heydays, thousands of people must have been using this building, but now all it was an abandoned ruin, probably to be demolished in a few years' time, destroying all of the historical artifacts that still can be found here, such as official airport documents, magazines and newspapers from the 80s, remains of communist wall paintings and mosaics, historical airport machinery and tools, all part of the history of the DDR, the German Democratic Republic, a country that doesn't even exist anymore. Most of these artifacts have been looted and vandalized over the years, but some of it is still there, rotting away, and the German authorities don't seem to care much about it.
My biggest problem here are the wasps that inhabit this place. I can hear them everywhere.
All throughout the buildings I could hear the humming sound of large numbers of wasps. Every now and then I had to stop and listen, and to make sure that I wasn't walking closer to these wasp nests. The building was dangerous enough in itself. I didn't need a new kind of trouble on top of that. Again, there was this same kind of metal noise that I heard before, but this time it was louder or closer. I've had earlier experiences while exploring abandoned buildings, walking into scrap metal thieves, so I decided to walk away from that sound. I then walked into this quirky bathroom area with sinks, tiling and piping, all painted in light blue, very vintage. Suddenly, I was nailed to the ground. I heard a dog. Now I knew that I was no longer alone in this abandoned ruin. Someone brought his dog. Could be a local walking his dog, but it also could be the dog of one of the wandering drug addicts who frequently hang around in places like these. So I had to be even more careful now. One of the main things I was looking for in this building was a specific room. I was told there was this hole that was taken over by Mother Nature, and I was about to find it right around the corner. This was amazing. Moss, grass, little bushes and even small trees were growing on the floor of this hole.
I've never seen anything like this before. Nature is taking control of this building.
This hole had become a new kind of indoor urban prairie that I'd never seen before. The question is, how would this develop when left alone for another 10 years or so? Would this place perhaps become the breeding ground for all kinds of animals? Who knows? But if the building is going to be demolished, then we will never find out. It's so tragic that there are people who apparently want to set these abandoned places on fire. Why? What is the fun of destroying something that has value to other people? Right around the corner was another huge hole that was also taken over by Mother Nature. This phenomenon is beautiful and creepy at the same time, and it kind of reminded me of an important fact, and that is, nature doesn't need us. We need nature. And no matter how strong we think we are, nature will always be stronger and return on the rubble that we created while destroying our planet. Again, I was nailed to the ground. I heard a dog, and this time it was very close. And it got worse. There were voices right around the corner. Could have been very nice people, who knows, but I decided not to wait and find out. It was time to leave. I'd had a wonderful adventure while exploring this abandoned airport, but it was getting too busy for my taste. And by the way, soon the sun would go down, so that was another reason to say goodbye. The sun is going down now. Soon it will be dark, and I don't want to be around here and dark, so let's go. This was my exploration of the abandoned airport. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. And please stick around to learn about my 5 golden rules of urban exploring. Thank you.
Although I could make a separate, dedicated video explaining you in detail what my ethical and practical guidelines are for urban exploring, I do want to take this opportunity to give you a quick overview of my 5 golden rules of urban exploring, as I've been applying them for the past 15 to 20 years. To me, the first rule of urban exploring is always be safe. Never take the risk. A nice picture is not worth putting your life in danger. Don't go at night. Always watch your steps. Don't wear earplugs. Don't climb anything. Do not enter roofs. Avoid walking on wooden stairs and wooden floors. In general, walk away from dangerous or hazardous situations. To me, the second rule of urban exploring is to always stay legal. Ask for permission to enter an abandoned place. You'd be surprised to know how often I managed to get permission to enter a place. And if I can't reach those who are in charge of the place, in that case I only enter areas that are fully abandoned for at least 10 years and are a fully open extension of public space. I never climb, I never open or break anything to get in. If I see signs that tell me to keep out, I walk away. I know that because of these principles, I miss out on certain opportunities to visit spectacular places. But staying legal and staying safe is much more important to me. To me, the third rule of urban exploring is to always leave the place as it is. Never take something with you. Never damage the place, never pollute the place. To me, the fourth rule of urban exploring is always be respectful to other people. Be respectful to neighbors, to security, to police, to other explorers. And also be respectful to homeless people or other people who balance on the edge of society. I have encountered many of these unfortunate people during my explorations. Usually, I avoid contact with them and they avoid contact with me. But when I do engage with them, I respect them just like I want them to respect me. To me, the fifth rule of urban exploring is to always be prepared. Study the place in advance. Wear solid clothing. Bring stuff like a phone, a camera and a flashlight, etc. So that was a short summary of my 5 golden rules of urban exploring. Living by these rules has kept me out of trouble for the past 15 to 20 years now.
And these rules even help me to make other people understand why I think that urban exploring is not only fascinating, but can also be an important act of documenting historic places before they are gone forever. So thanks for watching, happy exploring, stay safe and stay legal.